definitely love the bar community here in Arizona. There's, if anything, this COVID-19 thing has brought everyone together. And I feel like has maybe solidified the bar community here even more. You get people from different restaurants that maybe were on the same playing field or competing with each other. And with this whole instance, it's kind of everyone together helping support people, because there's so many people right now that can't pay their bills, can't pay their rent. And it's kind of a proof that we do have a really amazing bar community here in Arizona.
I think the bar community in Arizona as a whole is completely top notch. I think that we are probably the most overlooked community in the nation. I've been to, not that I've been around the world or to every state, but to places like Chicago, Portland, Seattle, and I talk about Arizona and cocktails. They don't see either one, not knowing that we have, some of the nation's top bars, the nation's top bartenders. Tales of the Cocktail know us, and you win top 10, top 50, top 5, and that's in the world. And still, I think slightly in certain aspects we're overlooked. And I think because everyone looks to LA and Chicago and New York to be the cutting edge. And personally, I think that us as a whole in a community, I think we are the cutting edge.
Yeah, I think we do have a cool community here in Phoenix. Also, not just Phoenix, but Tucson, Flagstaff as well. I think Tucson, Flagstaff get kind of like overlooked sometimes, unfortunately, because they have some really cool things happening, and they're kind of little smaller communities. But overall, I think we have a really cool community here, and it's growing all the time.
As far as the community of bartenders and industry, it's fun to go out and know the people behind the bar, the people who are serving or whatever, and saying hi and being on the same page and the same level, because you always see familiar faces. It's cool to be able to feed off of each other, go into a restaurant and be like, what's up and how's it going in here, and supporting the industry. And we're really big about that.
Yes.
Our friends own bars, restaurants, whatever. We like to go in and we like to be very supportive. Whether it's another steakhouse, it doesn't matter, we go support. But I will say, as far as like the bar industry, like Old Town, I feel like that group is a separate group than restaurants and speakeasies and stuff like that. Like, I think those groups don't really cross over.
As far as the Arizona community, I think it's absolutely outstanding, especially people in USBG. I remember going down to Tucson, and it was my first time down there, and I just wanted to hit a couple bars, and I just so happened to hear across the bar that somebody was like, oh, we'll close out the USBG Tucson tab. And I literally stood up, I looked down the bar, and I was like, USBG? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I'm USBG Phoenix. And long story short, I ended up spending the night in Tucson, and we partied like all night long. And now they're my best friends today.
That's always been such a great thing about what we do in our industry, is there is a sense of respect for everyone, and you do definitely get closer to the people that you work with. But especially coming out of this, or going into this, I guess, being in the middle of this pandemic, just seeing those bonds grow stronger and wanting to be there for everyone, regardless of where you're at mentally or financially yourself. You just want to be there and be a stronger person for everyone around you, and especially for your peers.
As you know, hospitality, we all kind of float around from bar to bar, restaurant to restaurant, and I think that really builds a really tight community, because no matter where you work, you're going to find somebody that knows somebody that you know. And I think that kind of makes it more of like a warm, inviting community, because even if you've only met them on Instagram, you immediately become friends just because you're in that community of people. And it's kind of like, hey, we all ride together, we die together type deal, And I really enjoy that, because I feel like you can pretty much go anywhere and you're going to be welcome with open arms, because our bar community is just so open and very hospitable.
In our industry, I would really like for everyone to really support each other more. I feel like there's a lot of like fakeness, and I really do want to see where people are talking great about bartenders, other bars, restaurants.
I think the bartending community is huge in Arizona. I mean, everybody knows everybody, whether you're, working at the dive bar across the street, or, you're at Century Grand, or, some restaurants that are brand new kind of in the area. I think this bar community is incredibly strong in Arizona. I think it's been really cool, especially during this pandemic, to kind of see how everybody interacts with each other and how everybody supports each other during this. It's been unreal.
I've seen it, I mean, the past decade or so, it's kind of morphed into like a really cool kind of tight-knit group of people, but also accepting group of people, you know, always accepting of new people moving into town or newer bartenders who, you know, have only been bartending for maybe a short amount of time. So
I feel like I'm kind of newer to the scene. It seems like a lot of these people in our industry have been here for so long. They've known each other for so long, and just like you kind of come in and like they're all welcoming, which is awesome. It's like they all want to see the next person do better. It's not so much as a competition as it is like growing our community. Because, you know, when you think cocktails and stuff, the first thing that comes to your head isn't Phoenix, Arizona. With our community, it's just we're tight knit, we're small, everybody knows everybody, everybody promotes everybody. So it's like it's easy to stand out in a good and in a negative way. So
I think Phoenix is killing it in the bartending scene. And I think that people don't really know that.